Hey guys, it's Friday. It's week 3, Friday. We've made it through 3 whole weeks of this. That's crazy. Friday, April 3rd. And today for Bible, you're going to take your test on your memory verse, Mark 4:41. Okay? And then also you're just going to finish up your recreation of our Bible stories. So whichever one you picked, you can do. And I can't wait to see your project. So make sure that you ask your mom or dad to snap a picture of it and either text it to me or email it to me. And I can't wait to see those. And I plan on sharing them with all our friends. Okay? Hey guys, welcome back. It is week 3, Friday. Okay, so it's the final day of week 3, and we are looking at math. So what I want you to do is go ahead and grab your math sheet. We're looking at page 281 and 282, but for the video portion, we're only going to be working on 282. So press pause, go grab it, and come right back. Okay, on page 282 at the bottom, you should see a deer or maybe an elk. I'm not sure what that is, but that lets you know you're on the right page. All right, so we've been talking this week about rounding. And when we round a number, we get the number that it's closest to. It's not the exact, it's the one that's closest to. And so, but when we round to the nearest 10, we know that we're going to use our tens that we use when we count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. We're going to use those tens and we're going to see which 10 our number is closest to. And when we round to the nearest 10, our number always ends in a what? A 0. Okay, so today we're going to take our skills that we did yesterday with rounding, and now we're going to estimate with some adding 2-digit plus 2-digit numbers, but we're not going to add them like we have been with adding the ones and carrying and all that. We're going to estimate first and then add. Okay, so when we talk about rounding, let's review our little poem. I put it on the board so we could look at it together in case you forgot. Remember our game, Chutes and Ladders. That helps us remember what to do. So we had 1 through 4, hit the floor. 5 through 9, take a climb. So let's do that again. Okay, you ready? 1 through 4, hit the floor. Go down your slide. 5 through 9, take a climb. We're going to round up. So if we're looking at the number 28, if I'm looking at 28, I look at the number in the ones place, and I have to decide which 10 is it going to be closest to. Is it going to be closer to 20, or is it going to be closer to 30? Well, I'll look at this 8. 1 through 4, hit the floor. 5 through 9, take a climb. I know that 8 means that I take a climb, so 28 would be rounded to 30, okay? So we're going to continue that on today with estimating. Look at your math page on page 282. It says estimating sums, okay? You know, we get a sum when we add. When we add two numbers together, the answer is called the sum. So we're going to estimate. So let's read that. Read that with me. To estimate the sum of 2-digit add-ins, round each add-in to the nearest 10. Let's read that again. To estimate the sum of 2-digit add-ins, round each add-in to the nearest 10. So let's look. You have 21 plus 28. We're not going to actually solve that like we have been. We're going to round it first and then solve. So let's look at 21. Well, 21, the 1 reminds us that we're going to have to go down. So 21 would round to 20. And 28, we look at the 8, it's going to round up, so it's going to round to 30. So instead of adding 21 plus 28, we're going to add what they rounded to, 20 plus 30. And so if we add 20 plus 30, then the answer, or our sum, is going to be 50. All right, so we're going to do that together. Look at number 1. Look at number 1. 49 plus 22. Now, 49 plus 22. 49 rounds to what? What number does it round to? Does it round down to 40 or up to 50? It's going to go, take a climb, and it's going to go up to 50. Look at 22. Down to 20, up to 30. Which one? It's going to go down to 20. It's going to hit the floor. Now we're going to add. The estimated sum is what? Well, what is 50 plus 20? Well, if you know 5 plus 2, then you know 50 plus 20. If 5 plus 2 is 7, then 50 plus 20 is 70. Or we can add 0 plus 0 is 0 and 5 plus 2 is 7. Either way. All right, look at B. Look at B. 15 plus 14. 15 plus 14. I know there's a kind of a glare right there, but 15. Up or down? It's going to go climb up to the next 10, which would be what? 20. 14. Up or down? Gonna go down, hit the floor, it's gonna go down to 10. So now I'm gonna add to get my estimated sum. So 20 plus 10 is what? 30. Very good. So do you see what we're doing here? We're just rounding the numbers and then added the rounded numbers together. Look at part C. Look at C. All right, in fact, I'm going to let you do C and D by yourself, and then I'm going to let you do number 2 by yourself because that's pretty easy, just writing the products. And then I want you to do number 3. Circle 1/3 of the flowers Jenny and Emily saw at the campground. So look at how many flowers there are, count them, and you're going to divide them into 3 equal groups, and 1/3 means you're going to circle 1 of 3 equal groups. Okay, 1 of 3 equal groups. All right, number 4. Of the 12 elk the children saw on Tuesday, 4 were females. How many male elk did they see? How many male elk did they see? Okay, so it's going to be like the one we did yesterday. Start with your amount. They saw 4. Now you're looking for the difference. So if we're looking for the difference, are we going to add or are we going to subtract? We're going to subtract. And remember to label your answer. So I'm going to give you a minute to finish up this page and then we'll go back and check together. So press pause on the video and then finish up and then we'll go back and check together. Okay, you should be done. And so now we're going to go back. We did A and B on number 1 together. Let's look at part C. You had 67 plus 11. What did they round to? 67 rounds to 70 and 11 rounds to 10. So you should have 70 plus 10 equals 80. Did you get it right? I bet you did. All right, look at D. 22 plus 56. 22 plus 56. Well, what did 10 round to? Up or down? It rounded down. So 22 became 20. And 56, up or down? It rounded up. Took a climb, so that would round to 60. So you had 20 plus 60 equals what? 80 is your estimated sum. Give me a thumbs up if you got that right. All right, look at number 2. You can go through and check these. If you miss it, circle it and go back and fix it. 6 times 0 equals 0. 5 times 6 equals 30. 9 times 10 equals 90. 3 times 5 equals 15. 2 times 8 equals 16. We're doubling that 8. 7 times 10 equals 70. And 1 times 1 equals 1. Okay, look at number 3. 1/3, circle 1/3 of the wildflowers Jenny and Emily saw at the campground. So if you count those flowers, there are 18 of them. So if there are 18 flowers and you divide them into 3 equal groups, because you're looking for 1/3, how many would have been in each group? 6. So you should have circled 6 flowers. And number 4, of the 12 elk the children saw on Tuesday, 4 were females. How many male elk did they see? Well, how many did they start with? How many did they see total? They saw 12. And then it said 4 of them were females. So we want to know how many of them were males. So we want to know the difference, okay? Because we need the other part, because a part and a part makes a whole. So we're missing a part. So to find the missing part, we're going to have to subtract. So 12 minus 4 is what? 8. And how did you label them? What were they looking for? 8 males. They were looking for 8 males. Okay, if you put 8 elk, that's okay, but we really were looking for 8 males. Okay. All right, so you're going to go back and you're going to do page 281 as a review by yourself for today. And don't forget to finish up your speed drills for this week. And that is it for math for today. And I will see you next week. Love you guys. Okay guys, it is week 3, day 5. It is Friday, Miss Penny's favorite day of the week. Though in quarantine, they kind of all feel the same now. But we are looking at phonics lesson 143 today. So with phonics lesson 143, we are still continuing to talk about adverbs. So I want you to go back and I want you to listen to your adverb jingle. Remember, our adverbs modify or tell about a verb, right? Because it has the word verb in the word adverb. So that's an easy way for us to remember that. And it answers 3 questions: how, when, and where. We are mostly focusing on how, okay? So I want you to look at your phonics page 285 and 286. We are going to do page 285 together, and 286 you're going to do by yourself. We're just going to go over the page today because we've talked in depth about adverbs, so I'm hoping by now that you got it under control. So look at your dog bone on page 285. Adverbs are words that describe verbs. They may tell how the action of the verb is done. They often end in ly. Do they always end in ly? No, but they often do. Okay, so read the sentence, underline the verb 2 times, circle the adverb that tells how, and draw a small arrow from the adverb to the verb. Okay, so today they're actually making you find the verb and circle the adverb and draw the arrow. Yesterday they found the verb for you, but today you're going to find it. All right, so remember, our verb is our action word. Who or what is, what are they doing? Okay, so let's look. Mike's new baby sister cries loudly. Okay, they did this one for you. What is she doing? She cries, so they underline cries twice. How does she cry? She cries loudly, so they circled loudly and they drew an arrow from loudly to cries. Okay, look at the next one. Mom divided the snack crackers evenly. Okay, so our subject is mom. What is mom doing? Well, she divided, underline divided 2 times. That's your verb. Now, let's ask our question. How did she divide? How did she divide? Do you know? Evenly. Very good. Did you circle evenly? That's your adverb. Now, draw a line to connect your adverb, an arrow to connect your adverb to your verb. This time it's way down at the end of the sentence, and that's okay. Look at the next one. We walked into the classroom quietly. Oh, you're so good at this. You guys, y'all are really good at this. This is how you earn most of your compliments, right? We walked into the classroom quietly. What are we doing? We walked, all right? So walked is our verb, so 2 lines under it. And how did we walk? Quietly, very good. Circle quietly and draw an arrow to walked. Look at the next one. I snuggled next to Grandma cozily. Ooh, that sounds fun. You might not be able to do that now with quarantine, but that's okay, because when all this is done, you can snuggle with Grandma all you want. All right. What am I doing? I snuggled. Okay. How did I snuggle? Cozily. Very good. Cozily is your adverb. And you're going to circle cozily and draw an arrow all the way back to snuggle. Okay. Now it says to draw lines to match adverbs with the verbs you think match best. Now, some of you will have different ones. There's really lots of ways you can go with this, but what do you think matches best? So build, if you look at all your verbs, build, nibble, climb, poke, dig, all right? Which one do you think has the correct adverb that asks you how something was built? Not the correct one, the best one, okay? Build, well, if I'm looking, I'm probably going to build correctly, because just like a Lego set, I wouldn't want to build incorrectly because then it wouldn't work. Okay, so I would draw a line from build to correctly, but you could pick something else. Nibble. How would you nibble? Nibble what? Carefully, maybe? Okay. Climb. Climb. How would you climb? Maybe easily? Okay. Or you could climb carefully. What about poke? Uh-oh. Poke. What would you do? How would you poke? Maybe accidentally, right? Maybe accidentally poke someone with a pencil. All right. And dig. How would you dig? Maybe helpfully. Okay. If you were at the beach and your sibling asked you to help them build a sandcastle, right? You would dig helpfully. All right. Now, number 3, I want you to look at number 3. It says, write as many adverbs as you can think of for the verb obey. So we need to think about how we obey, all right? So I want you to think about this, not just at home and not just at school we obey, but we also obey the Lord, right? And how do we obey the Lord? If he tells us to do something, how do we do that, right? Do we do that easily? Okay. How do you obey at school? Do you obey quickly? Or do you make Miss Penney say things 2 and 3 and 4 times, right? Or do you obey slowly? Yeah, right? Or maybe you obey quietly, right? If I tell you to clear your desk and put your things away, are you obeying quietly? Okay, so let's come up with some ways that we can obey. All right, so I named a few, so let's think. We can obey. How do we obey? Do we obey quickly? Can we obey quietly? Sometimes, though, we don't obey quickly. We obey slowly, right? We obey slowly instead of quickly. Instead of the first time our parent or our teacher asks us to do something, sometimes we have to be told over and over again. And so we slowly obey, all right? And that's, that happens, but we learn from it, and the next time we should try to obey quickly, okay? Slowly, quietly. Did you obey joyfully? Yesterday, I made my boys help me clean the house, and they did not obey joyfully. They had a pretty rotten attitude about it. And so we had to have a sit down, and we had to have a talk about how, even though it's not what they wanted to do, it's what mommy asked them to do, and that we all are part of our family, and we all chip into all of the responsibilities that a family has in a home. And so we talked about what it's like to obey joyfully, even though it's not what we want to do. So today, when you're approached with something that you don't want to do, whether it's schoolwork or whether it's cleaning something up or helping your younger brother or sister or doing a chore or I don't know what it could be, but I want you to challenge you to obey joyfully, okay? And to ask the Lord, say, Lord, help me to obey joyfully in this situation. Help me to not obey grumpily. Ooh, that might be a good one. Grumpily, right? Help me to obey joyfully. All right, what's another way we can obey? Can we obey happily, right? We can obey easily. We can obey, I don't know. How else can we obey? Miss Penny's brain is out. But I think that's a good start for us. So if you had any extra, put them on your paper. And you did a good job of coming up with how we can obey. All right? So let's look at our dictation at the bottom. I want to do that with you. It's, so here is your sentence. You ready? I lost my red, green, yellow, and black crayons. I lost my red, green, yellow, and black crayons. One more time. I lost my red, green, yellow, and black crayons. So I just gave you a list of things. Remember what we do when you're listing a series of things, right? So you should have gotten I and lost and my correct. But when you get to your color words, since you're listing them in a series, then it's going to be red, comma, green, comma, yellow, comma, and black crayons, period, at the end, okay? So there is your sentence for today. On the back, on page 286, you're going to read the sentences, follow the directions. It's a review of adjectives at the top. Number 2, you're going to rewrite the sentence, adding correct punctuation and capitalization. And then on number 3, you're going to circle the correct word in your sentence, okay? But I think that you have done a good job this week with adverbs. And adverbs just help us make our writing more colorful and more exciting to hear. And they add detail, help us add details to our writing. And so think about how bland and boring it would be if we just wrote without adverbs and adjectives, okay? So good job this week, and I will see you back next week. All right.